Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Kerry.
And I'm Chris.
No, I say, and I'm Blaine.
And I'm Gus.
Wow. And I'm Kerry.
We're all screwed up already.
Go ahead.
And I, Chris.
All right.
Believe it or not, despite this state and this city's best efforts, we're still here. We're still alive. Freeze be damned. Boil water notice be damned. We can't even drink the water out of the fucking tap here in Austin.
Texas sucks.
For the fourth time in 5 years in Austin, one of the bigger cities. What is it, like number 10, number 11 population city in the United States?
One of the fastest growing, too.
Right. Come on down. Do you like electricity or water? At any time, you might have one.
Real talk, like, Austin kind of fucking sucks. Like, don't move here. It's getting crowded. It's getting expensive.
We have to say that.
No, like, I wish.
Keep our property values going up.
I wish Rooster Teeth would relocate. I love this company. I want to stay with this company. I don't want to stay with the city.
I think you mentioned it, that the people who announced the boil ban, or not the boil ban,
the boil ban,
that you had to boil the no drinking water ban.
Okay today?
That you have to boil your
too much
water.
of the water.
No, water's good. I don't know what you're talking about. But you're like, the good thing is everyone already has water because of the freeze, and it's like
they were prepared already. Like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Also, I'm going to be honest. I was not prepared, and the second I got that text, I went to the gas station and bought bottled water because I was like, I want to, drink. I just finished drinking a cold glass of ice water when I got that text message that said, "Hey, don't drink the water."
Oh, and not only that, but like, I'm sure that water that they declared is too dirty has been dirty for like 3 days. So we've been consuming
when they did the press conference the other day, they're like, "We first discovered the turbidity problem Saturday morning." It's like, you didn't send a fucking text out till 8:05 p.m. Like, we started our alarm started going off Saturday morning. So Saturday night, they told everyone in Austin, you can't drink your tap water.
Saturday's my water day.
The only day Kerry drinks water.
Water cheat day.
Exactly.
We'll have it back end of day Tuesday.
Kerry has just brown, red piss.
Yeah.
Here's the deal: I saw that, and I was like messaging a bunch of people because I was like, "Oh, people might have seen it." I messaged our Slack thing, and then I went out drinking, and then all memory of it went away. Like I was at a bar, and they're like, "Do you want bottled water or tap?" I'm like, "I don't care. Whatever, tap's fine." And then I was like,
"Who told us?"
And then the other thing too.
How was your hangover on Sunday? Was it miraculously better?
It was.
Are we gonna find out the parasites are actually good for us?
All that turbidity really helped them recover.
And then even like afterwards, like I was like handing out water, like went back and it's like drinking water from cups and then at the end of the when everyone was leaving, I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta be drinking out bottled water.
Yeah, I wanted to do like a flex because after last freeze and all that shit that went down,
the last boil water notice.
Yeah, I stocked the fuck up on everything: water, canned foods, like a ton of emergency supplies. And so I have like gallons and gallons and gallons of water stored up because after every grocery store trip, I would just grab a gallon of water and just slowly stocked up. I didn't panic buy or anything like that. Right. So I'm good. We're good. And I wanted to take a picture and be like, haha, I'm ready. But I was also like, probably shouldn't announce this in case shit gets real bad. People will be like, let's go rob Blaine.
Yeah, Blaine's water.
I definitely would. I'm going to be honest because you're still recovering
from the bicep. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like if I come at you from that angle,
then I
can see your gallons of water.
Right. Eric wants to know if you're a doom prepper now.
I wouldn't say. Nah, I don't think I am because doom prepper.
How many gallons of water do you have?
I had 12.
12.
Because I also have pets. I got my girlfriend. I got pets to deal with. I actually have less than what you need. Apparently, you need enough. You need a gallon of water per person for 7 days. So that's 14 gallons plus factoring in animals. So I don't have enough technically.
But you can boil water too.
Yeah, it's for convenience.
It is weird to be like opening up bottled water and then pouring it into a dog bowl and being like, my dog only drinks bottled water.
It's very bougie.
As it was, I would only give Benjamin filtered water. He never got tap water. And he preferred it cold. So I would always give him filtered cold water out of the fridge. It was his favorite time of the day was the morning when I dumped out the old water and put the new water in. He was like, oh, he was so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna give you shit for that, but I do want to know how you found that out. Like, how did you realize that, he cares?
With him, it was since he was a Shih Tzu, they would get gunk around their eyes and stuff. If they have
it's like red stuff.
Yeah, if they have minerals or stuff in the water, so you need to like clean it. And I was like, oh, well, I'll start giving him the purified filtered water. And then
He's
yeah,
felt better.
Then like one day I like dropped a piece of ice and he ate it, and I was like, oh, he probably likes cold water. And it's like putting 2 and 2 together.
I was cleaning this cup, this Black Box Down mug.
Oh, that was very good.
Subtle.
Yes, Rooster Teeth store. But then it was like dirty, and I wanted to bring it onto the podcast, so I was like, I got to clean it. So then I went to the bathroom to clean it with just like some hand soap, and then I was like, but is it dirty again? Because I cleaned it with dirty water. So then I dried it out and put hand sanitizer on it and rubbed it, gave it a hand sanitizer bath. And then I wiped that and cleaned that up. Now, I assume it's clean now, but like, can you drink?
Hand sanitizer? No.
No, I didn't drink the hand sanitizer.
There's so many levels. Okay. You were at home.
No, this was just now.
Okay. Because you said you went to the bathroom to clean the mug. And that was my first problem.
Well,
and you cleaned it with hand soap.
Well, there's no dish soap in the bathroom.
But what about the other sink outside the bathroom with the dish soap?
What a stupid thing for me to say.
I did not know there was a sink.
It's right there.
It's right next to the door. Like if you're looking at the bathroom door, right to the left of it is a sink with dish soap.
Really?
I will say that this podcast has made me pull threads on uncomfortable situations where it's like, this will make a good podcast story. I shouldn't stop here. Oh, this is weird. Let's see where it's going to go. I'm going to go hang out with these strippers and see how the night ends. Chris, I feel like, is constantly seeking out dumb shit to do so that he's like, hey, guys, I poisoned myself.
Do you want to talk about the thing that he did right before we went live?
What? Oh, with your ad reads?
Well, that wasn't even what I was thinking about. So I was doing the ad before. I normally do the ad reads before everyone shows up, but I was.
Gus, if I may, real quick, Chris, we love you.
I know.
Okay.
I love you too.
Okay, cool.
Kerry doesn't speak for me.
Okay. Well, just worry about it being pretty merciless for the next like 5 minutes.
So I'll do the ad reads before everyone gets here, and normally it's just I'm looking right into the camera over here, and we're running a little bit late today. And Kerry walked in, and so I was doing the ad reads and stopped, well behind the cameras by the door, was waiting for me to finish.
Very quietly close the door. Yeah.
Chris walks in, sees I'm doing an ad read, walks straight at me in front of the camera. He doesn't block the lens, luckily. No. He starts walking towards me, realizes I might be in front of a camera, stops, and then starts looking around trying to see where the camera is. And then just like stops moving. Then I finished the read. I'm like, Chris, I can't believe you did that. I've got one more ad to do. I started doing the next ad read, and he just like slams his backpack down, opens it up, and is like rustling through it. And I'm like, can you settle?
That's an exaggeration. I was doing that, and then you started doing the ad read.
I was doing the read first.
You started doing the read, and then you were opening the zipper, and then I think you recognized he was making noise, so then you slowed it down. So then instead of zzz, it was yeah, and you were just staring at Gus like
still right next to the camera.
You did the very like live action thing. After that, is you just froze. In this awkward mid unzip, you just froze, and it's like Gus flubbed, and he was just like, Chris, just stop.
He was like, Chris, can you settle? He's like, all right, I'm leaving. And he just like ran out the door.
And then I was like, fine, I'm gonna go clean this mug
with hand sanitizer. So there's another Chris thing I would talk about, but so that is I'm gonna use the term laced with hand sanitizer.
Well, I got a paper towel, put some hand sanitizer, and wiped it. Kind of gave a wipe through it. It's not like
you seasoned it.
Yeah, and then took another dry one and wiped it all up. So it was like
okay.
It was a very light amount of hand sanitizer.
Okay. Now, in like a life or death situation,
yeah,
I think that's probably fine. Right?
I mean, it could be life and death with this no drinking the water thing.
It's true.
When I was looking at the cast for today's podcast, I was like, Kerry and Chris. I was like, that's a fun cast. And then I started thinking like, oh, simple walk to Mordor. Yeah. And then I think I told somebody this with this. So between me guardianing for Barbara and then me getting the internship, I watched a bunch of Rooster Teeth content because I was already a fan, listened to podcasts, watched the shorts religiously, but I hadn't watched that yet. And I watched it. And I think one of the first things I said to you when I met you, Chris, was like, hey, I watched Simple Walk. So good. It's really good. And then I watched it. I was like, fucking idiot. You should have fucking said that. I look like a fucking idiot.
It was so good though.
It was great. Like that is, if you haven't watched Simple Walk or Rooster Teeth content in a while, dude, that's fucking love that.
Thanks, y'all. I mean, I wish you said it to me day one, but that's fine.
Yeah, you were tucked away, hiding someplace. I couldn't find you.
I was jailed.
He was like, I fucked up so bad with Chris. There's no way I can talk to Kerry.
Yeah.
The fucked up thing that Chris did that I was actually talking about was not the ad read interruption. Mm-hmm. It was right before we went live. Kerry's like, "Oh, hey, should I tweet about the podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And Chris said, "Oh, here, let me take a video. I'll take a video." And then he starts like filming everyone.
It was pretty funny. Like he turned to Blaine, like he kind of gave him like a sour face. Gus and I gave him like faces. It was like, haha, we're not ready for the podcast.
And then Chris, puts the phone down. He's like, "Oh crap, I wasn't recording." And like that, so that I guess you hit the record button. So the only thing he recorded was you saying, "Oh crap, I wasn't recording."
He played it back. He's like, "Oh fuck."
Do you still have it?
I have it.
Can you play it in the mic?
Yeah.
It's not like shit. It's fine. It's fine. It's the best thing ever.
So that's why Chris did not tweet a video promoting the podcast, is because all it was, "Oh crap, I wasn't recording."
I think you should tweet that now while we're doing this.
Here we go.
I think you should just tweet.
Are you guys gonna do? Are you guys gonna do a season 2 of Simple Walk now that Amazon's bringing? Like, if Amazon were to come to you and say, "Hey, we want to sponsor a thing," would you guys do a second one?
I'm not gonna say no.
A simpler walk.
A simpler walk.
I would love a simpler walk.
Or a slightly more complicated walk.
with actual prep time this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not
any
just
training whatsoever.
flying the fuck out there.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And like walking more than 26 miles in one day before you do it 6 days in a row.
Yeah. Something like that.
Breaking in your shoes beforehand.
Oh god.
Oh
yeah.
my god, I didn't consider. Yeah,
No.
because you guys had like really bad blisters and shit.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about
I had
that.
to do that road surgery. That's what I called it.
Where you just pop the lid
Yeah.
and get the liquid outs.
Yeah. Well, I had to save.
I
I
also
had
had ball chafing real bad.
that almost took me out. That
Yeah.
almost took me out. Yeah.
Ball chafing? That's not that's no joke. I risked it all at Disney World that one time. I think I told the story, but we were on Pirates of the Caribbean and my balls were chafing so bad because it was like day 2 or 3 of theme parking. And I asked Brandon Farmahini for the talcum powder. I was in the back row and I was singing alone. And I was like, "Don't look back here." And I started, just like I pulled my pants and just talcumed it out.
Now, also imagine that when you've gotten to that point, you haven't showered in 6 days.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like the second you undo your pants, it's like you're like struggling to stay awake.
It's just like a thick. I bet if you like took a credit card and then just scraped whatever was down
I was
there.
going to use the word miasma, but yeah. I mean, I think the credit card is
Schmegma.
Yeah. Well, no, not for me personally.
I'm gonna post. I'll post that clip.
Thank you.
I'll respond a quote tweet your
Thank you.
thing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I think just show your dedication.
There you go.
We were talking about the new Lord of the Rings series, and apparently there's returning cast members that are playing their same roles from the
Yeah,
other one.
Was it Cameron said that, right? That Galadriel was coming back?
what's her name?
Kate Blanchett?
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, it's
She's
Galadriel.
coming back.
Okay.
And imagine the dude that played Red Skull, where the fuck his name is.
Hugo Weaving?
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving's. He would have to.
Elrond, you mean?
Hubbard.
I don't know. So I don't. What?
Elrond is the character that Hugo Weaving played.
ELROND.
That's the Scientologist.
Elrond.
God. Yeah. Is he coming back?
What's it called? Rings of Power?
Yeah. Rings of Power. Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings.
I'm
The
excited.
Rings of Power.
Oh, I am too.
that
I
comes
need
out
to
in
like go
September,
through and do a rewatch of all of them. I still haven't watched.
I do that like every year or so.
It's a very good like Christmas timey thing to do.
Yeah.
You're usually off anyways.
Let's see
and you
who's
just kind of
cast. Trying to see who's in
But-
this.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I mean,
we talked about it a lot.
yeah, we
When
talked about it
How could we do
way
it?
back when.
Turn this into a series.
But then it's just kind of expensive because traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That only worked because we were able to piggyback it off of a con that was already happening.
I don't see Kate Blanchett in the cast.
But,
So it's bullshit.
Yeah, I think Cameron was lying to us.
What a bitch.
Or maybe it's secretive. Maybe it's secretive.
Oh, maybe we weren't supposed to say that. Have you thought about that
I don't
possibility?
think we don't have no inside information.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
they're not Warner. They're
Cameron,
not
we heard from
HBO.
Cameron.
Cameron.
Cameron broke NDA to tell us that. Like he
Yeah.
got a gig on it and now he just blew
guys.
it. Oh fuck.
Trust me, this is big. Yeah, I don't know. I would do it again. Be fun.
Yeah.
I lost 10 pounds, so I could go for that right now.
Yeah.
Oh, from just that
Just
week.
from that. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
That's not
Just from all the ball chafing?
Yo,
you
yeah.
chafed off 10 pounds?
Yeah, I just shaved off.
Yeah. It's mostly
Well, it
skin.
came from my thighs. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
You
just,
got you got an indentation
Yeah.
on the inside. You got a thigh gap
I've
going.
got yeah. I've got a.
It'd be like, yeah, it's like the exact shape of your balls, but when you like out of your thighs.
What? what were they thinking putting our balls there? I'm sorry. It's just like,
Who's they? Aliens?
aliens, God, nature, whatever. Balls are, there's not a lot of room for them.
Well, the problem is there's bad design inherently in all of it. It's like they need to be away from the core of the body because they can't get too hot.
Yeah.
Or like the sperm dies. So that's why they have to be like in testicles, removed away from your core body. That way they're a little cooler. It's like, why not just have it survive?
Yeah, like why make something that dies by being inside of the body?
I was having this exact conversation with my girlfriend where I was just like, a woman's body it's beautiful, it's aerodynamic, it's like a beautiful like vehicle or something, and then a dude's just got all these fucking dingies hanging out, and he's just. And I'm so vulnerable. You get hit in the balls, like it's
like someone modding a car, like just putting some aftermarket parts in, like this doesn't go on this one. Fuck it.
That's what it feels like. I don't know.
Jam it on there.
Bodies. How's your bicep doing?
I had my 6-week follow-up appointment, and they were like very happy. I feel like they just give you a pat on the back so you feel good. But my surgeon was very happy with my progress. I can start strength training.
So we can arm wrestle.
Fuck no. I would never in my life will I arm wrestle ever again. I don't want to do anything that's
chicken
risk. Yes, so
I
am.
If I challenge Blaine to an arm wrestling, would that mean I would win? Automatically?
It means we both win by not participating.
No, I know.
Well, no, though, because if he challenges you and you decline, then you've lost.
The thing is like, I'm secure enough in my body and all that stuff that I have nothing to prove.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't.
It's just like,
you don't, yeah.
You had no problem with me winning.
Yeah, then, you have no problem losing.
It's just like how
if you want, I will let my arm go limp, and I just don't want to put my arm at risk.
It's just like how France didn't lose in World War II because they just refused to engage with Germany.
Well, you guys are trying to get a rise out of me. It is the most traumatic thing that's happened to me, and it has been the most life-changing, like in a bad way, experience. So I just don't want to goof with it.
That makes sense. Speaking of getting a rise out of you, has it affected? Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm mixed-handed. I'm like sports are all left-handed, and then like riding is right-handed.
What about other things?
I'm good.
You've been good?
Yeah, we're fine.
All right, good. I just want to check in.
If he's mixed-handed, he should be all right.
Yeah.
My girlfriend did say once my hand gets better, I should celebrate by masturbating with it. And it would just be so wrong.
Oh, and then speaking of weirdo Chris, you said that in the office the other day, and he was trying to picture it, and he starts going. He starts like making like twisting motions with his hands, trying to imagine it. Everyone just stopped and looked at him like, "How do you do it?"
No, that's not how you do it. I was like, but it's just an up and down.
No, that's
motion.
not what you were doing.
I know, but I was thinking is like, is the issue that you can't bend your wrist right now? Is the issue that you can't? Like,
what
I was imagining what would hurt now.
You? Yeah. Repetitive motion.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's, I talked to him this morning and I was like, I literally, I went in with a list of questions and just like things that I could do. Can I throw a baseball? Can I shoot hoops with a basketball? Can I do bench press? Can I squat? And he was just yes, no, yes, yes. But he said no explosive movements. So I think me going,
well, it depends on how explosive the finish is. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Are you putting that big of a flourish at the end when it's you?
Well, there's some sort of explosive movement.
I mean,
yeah. I think just any like I asked him like the speed of motion at which, and he's just said no explosive movements.
So you didn't do? Can I? You didn't do that.
No.
Can I? Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to revisit that.
But
can I ask you weekly? Is that okay?
If I've masturbated with my broken heart?
No, not if you can.
Oh, I could probably give it a go tonight, but
okay.
I just like, I don't know. It's just, it already felt weird before because everyone's tried with the other hand.
Yeah, no, I've mentioned this. I switched hands at one point in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll switch hands every once in a while, but like,
no, I can't do that. That's crazy.
Going back to like what it'd be like getting, I don't know, like going back in high school or something with someone who hasn't done it before, and they're not like, they don't have the muscle memory. Like you'd be like jerking off with a virgin hand.
Well, yeah, you already put your 10,000 hours in.
I already tore my bicep. I don't want like a sprained cock on top of this, where I'm just like
sprained cock. I was thinking like the embarrassment of like, you go back to the doctor, you fuck it up again, you're like, sorry, man.
Doctor, it happened.
Yeah, it's some explosive movements.
Did you get back on that bench again? No.
He's lifting some heavy weights.
Hey.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. If you need a website for any reason, build it with Squarespace. Squarespace has loads of features to make your site stand out from all the rest. They've got social media integration, so you can display posts from your social profiles on your website, or you can push website content to your social profiles so your friends and followers can share it. They also have their own email campaign feature, so you can stand out in even the most flooded inbox and unify your brand voice from your homepage to your emails. Every Squarespace site is optimized for mobile, so it'll look great on any device. Don't you hate it when a site that looks great on desktop is completely unusable on your phone? That is not an issue with Squarespace. You've heard me talk about Squarespace for a long time now. I appreciate how it's super simple to use. Everything is point and click. There's no coding required. With the great templates, you can get up and running in no time. I love it. I think you should give it a try. Make a website. Why not? Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/roosterteeth to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
I will give it to the body for this.
Yeah.
The penis is impressive in the ability to like grow and
You're a grower,
shrink.
not a shower. Yeah.
Well, just like even just the design of it, if someone being like, but what if it like could get bigger? And then like that's impressive. Like it's and it can I watched the new Jackass.
Hashtag,
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude,
humble brag.
there is so much dick and balls.
There's a lot of
Jackass
dick and
forever.
balls. They do
And
one
they're
thing.
a good bit older dick and
Yeah.
balls now.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
The hanging low.
They got some new dick and balls though.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do
Spice it
one
up.
thing where it involves squishing a penis between two flat surfaces. And I was impressed by how much of like how flat it could squish.
Yeah.
Like how much of like a pancake. And I was like, it is amazing what it can do. Like the weird, like the fact that it can be squished like that.
Yeah.
They were like unharmed by it. They had like, so there was like this two pieces of clear plastic with screws, and they were just tightening the screws, slowly smushing it.
It looked like a medieval torture device,
Yeah.
but they were like, yeah, it's not that bad.
And they were fine. They were like doing, you know.
I guess once you get over the shock.
And it was so, I don't even think they were shocked because they were doing it so slowly. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a smash. It was they were just squishing
Like
it.
tightening it, like a
Tight-
device or
Yeah,
something.
but because it's made to like, it's already spongy,
Yeah.
so it just squished down.
It was
Do they need to be careful, like not get aroused?
That could be dangerous.
blood flow. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the danger.
That something the device something's gonna pop.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
yeah.
Blood vessel or something.
yeah, I'd be worried about that.
Yeah. That seems like something they would do, just like fuck around, just like start showing porn to each other. It's like, hey, man, don't get aroused.
But yeah, I mean,
That's my catchphrase.
I still want to do my video idea that I had forever ago, and it's gonna get made by somebody, and I
Yeah.
hope it's me. But I wanted to do a video where it's like 12 dudes in a room,
Okay.
and you give one of them
I can send you a
Viagra,
website. Okay.
and the game is trying to figure out which one took the Viagra.
Okay. That you recovered that at the end there.
It's just like
Yeah.
you put 12 dudes in a room,
Yeah.
boxers only. You secretly give one of them Viagra, and then they got to figure out which one
1,
it is.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay,
We're short. We're
we could
short.
s-
Yeah.
If anybody's,
What-
if anybody's got, if anybody's holding.
If anybody's holding a little extra.
Yeah.
would there be like, would they have to like watch porn or something?
No.
They would just be
Nothing crude like that. You just put them in a room, and then one guy probably pops a boner, and then everyone's just gotta like
Would there be attire requirements?
Yeah, I think you would wear like
Gray
boxer
sweatpants.
shorts.
Okay.
Yeah, gray sweatpants. Yeah,
that's the meme.
I don't want it to be like pornographic or anything weird like that. I think it's just funny, and then especially watching the one dude sweat who has it, and he's just like
But would they even know? Or it would be like, a
placebo type thing?
placebo.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
interesting.
it's an interesting twist.
Wait.
You could explore that in multiple episodes.
Like it's like we gave it to Chris, but there's like we actually didn't give it to Chris.
Everyone took a.
Chris is just bricked up right now because he thinks he should be.
Well, everyone takes a pill, but only one of them is
Oh,
Viagra. So
I
everyone's
see.
like, "Did I get it?"
Yeah, they don't know.
Because then then everyone's thinking about it. Because that's the one thing I learned in middle school is if you try not to think about getting a boner, you're gonna get one
That's
no
the
matter
one
what.
thing you learned in middle school.
and if you're watching this and you're going through that time in your life, the best advice I can give is to flex your thighs and your legs, because then the blood flow disperses
Oh, I
elsewhere.
never heard that. That's good.
That's-
That's good advice,
Yeah.
man.
You just
We're
If you're
hoodies.
listening to this right now and you're at time of age, you already got a one up on me, because I didn't know that.
So, yeah, the one thing you knew. was not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't think about it.
Yeah, just keep a backpack handy.
Yeah.
I was also thinking back, like
tie sweater on your waist.
Yeah.
when I was like interning and I like told you about the simple walk and stuff. I was just like, that was like completely like we all looked different. Like I had like a half to full inch more of hairline. Just like it's a different times.
man,
It's
yeah.
been a while.
Don't
7, 8 years.
mirror. Look in the mirror is bad for that stuff.
So this is an potentially interesting segue to something we were talking about before the podcast started. Kerry had a great question for all of us. It was something I'd never considered until you brought it up.
I doubt I'm the first person to think about this.
Well, you're the first person to bring it up to me.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
Is it the death thing?
Way to spoil it.
I so vague and broad.
Here, you guys segue?
Go for it.
Oh,
No,
look.
I set you up.
Here's the question I asked. Look, bodies, right? Who
Okay.
cares? We're all gonna die. I don't want to get. We got bad water. Stuff's happening. We're all gonna die. When we get buried, I'm trying to think of the best way to say. Why is it this way and not this way?
Why is it laying down and not standing up?
Yeah. Why?
Horizontal and not vertical.
Why this way and not this way?
It's way easier to, I think, traditionally,
Right.
when space was less of an issue,
Right.
it's so much easier to dig a hole that way. You don't like digging a
Horizontally.
hole straight down.
Yeah.
Is really hard.
Yeah, because then there's the issue of like you got to put the dirt somewhere, get it out, and then you also have to climb out, and then there's gonna be extra space that you'll have to dig downwards so that the head's not poking up like some fucked up plant.
Which would be funny though.
It would be.
I feel like if you actually got buried alive, like you'd have a way better chance
Ah.
of like
Yeah.
Inching
moving
your
like
way up.
this. Yeah, you could just mime it up.
But it might also.
So you would have to, we kind of touched on this. You would have to dig deeper, because since if you're laying horizontal, you go like 6 feet down.
6 feet down.
But if you're going vertical, you have to have 6 feet down from the top of the head.
12
so
feet.
So if someone's 6 feet
Right.
tall, you dig a hole that's 12 feet.
Would I get a discount because I'm 5'7" on a good day?
They probably I would imagine you would just have like one of those machines that digs like with a corkscrew style, where it's just like it just cores a hole.
This is just a cylinder.
Yeah.
Right.
Modern day, it makes sense.
Modern day, it's no problem. You just like core down 12 feet, dump them
They
in,
already have
that's it.
machines that dig the graves anyway.
And you save space.
My-
Because you, Eric says you wouldn't worry about a discount because you're dead. You since you don't have to have as much horizontal space, you could cram a lot more people in.
Yeah.
My response to why we probably don't do that is because I feel like it's because rest is like you associate laying down, sleeping, that laying pose
Yeah.
as
But they're
putting
like-
someone to rest.
Versus them, like, well, he's still at it. It's like standing up.
Yeah, just ready to go.
But yeah, if you're like laying out a new graveyard and you're like, how can we fit?
Which are huge wastes of space. Let's
They
be
really
honest.
are.
Massive.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound too cold, but it's like, yeah, just burn me up.
Well,
You know?
That's
but
not
then-
even cold. That's hot.
But then there's the whole question of how that contributes to like
true.
the climate and stuff like
well,
But
I think
it can't be any worse than like burying embalming fluid.
that. Well, right. No, I am not a proponent of that either. I think that you should just dump the body somewhere.
that's
Like-
I don't care what you do with my body. Take what you need from me. Take
Right.
whatever you want for science or for organ donors or take it.
Hey, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Hey, it takes real guts to be an organ donor.
That's a good one.
And then after that, you can do whatever you want. You can burn me, or if you want to put me in a grave, if you're worried about the environment, put me in a grave, but don't buy it. Just like drive out somewhere, find a spot, unmarked grave.
Have we talked
then you-
about the concept of an organic grave? Like, put me in the ground, but don't pump me with Baja Blast or whatever they do. Don't put me in a casket. Just let me fertilize.
Well, someone made a good point. They were saying that if you were to put a vertical grave,
Yeah.
apparently you would cause a bigger sinkhole. I guess
It's
As
bigger
you
sinkhole.
as you decompose. I guess it would cause more of a
They might just have to go and then plop, top some dirt off.
some
Yeah.
topsoil.
That's not bad.
What if we can account for that
Okay.
with like a capsule or some kind of like
It has to be an organic capsule.
concrete tomb?
No, what's the fucking point then?
Just very little concrete. It's way better than what we do now.
Yeah,
Well, I would say then also part of the reason there's a sinkhole is because there's air in the coffin and like if you didn't have a coffin, if it was just the body standing up straight, you'd fill in more dirt.
Can you imagine all that good air that's down there just waiting to be sucked in?
I feel like we barely have water. We're gonna waste air. I don't want to waste. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a new industry. Want to breathe some 1800s air? Some 1700s air?
We'll open this casket for the first time.
Would it be worse or better to just launch a fucking body into space?
I was thinking about that. I didn't bring it up because we had to start the podcast, which I guess is important. Whatever. Can we? I want to go to Mars. I'm not going to go to Mars. My body could go to Mars.
If you're talking about like environmental impacts, then it's like how much fuel are you burning to get your body out of the atmosphere?
Say this is the future, though. It's a burial at sea if the sea is the space.
Well, like I'm going to fertilize Mars with my body is what I want to do.
I think there's no like microbes there to break you down. So it's like you would be like a preserved. They would die, right, from being on the Martian atmosphere. You would be like a preserved, dried, mummified body on the surface of Mars for eternity.
Which would be cool.
That sounds pretty metal.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan shows up, and you're like,
because what you could do, if say you were already at space or something, if they just shot you off in the direction of Mars, you would hit it, maybe. Well, no, because it's also if you
get caught in a gravitational pull.
Well, and also Mars is going around the sun too.
Well, they could
so if they timed it right, if they shot you off and assumed that you weren't going to hit anything,
if NASA spent millions of dollars in calculations,
and then they were like,
it would be. I think they did that already with the moon landing, where they were like,
they didn't
shoot them. We need to overshoot and project.
Yeah, it'd be harder too with a body that's like going. That just kind of gets shoot.
And so you were suggesting just a loose ragdolling body,
and because then you wouldn't have to use much fuel if you just kind of. Because nothing's gonna stop it.
Just a big, like slingshot.
Yeah,
kind of like in
like everyone heave ho, and then boom, and then eventually, if it was, calculated correctly, you'd hit the gravity. Well, then you just end up floating around Mars.
You don't even need to.
Right?
It's like in a lot of sci-fi shows, like The Expanse or Star Trek or shit like that. They just like put the body in a capsule and like. The airlock, and then just open up the airlock, and boom, you're out. That's it. Done.
At that point, just put them in the septic tank because you're wasting all of those things that you were pumping into that person, and then now it's just floating in space, and it's useless.
I do see that being a little. It's like someone passes away, and you're like, all right, rest in peace, and then like dumping them into the toilet.
That in Expanse, actually, now that I think about it, on series, they say they take them to the mushroom farm. When someone dies, like, oh yeah, take them to the mushroom farm. Like they're gonna make them fertilizer.
That seems.
See, now that'd be cool.
Yeah. Then it's like like you said, you're getting something back from the body that you pumped all those nutrients and everything into.
Absolutely. That's what you should be doing.
I saw a video of somebody. They put their family fish in the toilet because it had died, and the second they flushed, the fish came back to life.
Oh no!
And started swimming around.
Oh god.
So, anyways, which brings me to.
Kerry, you monster! Why would you bring that up?
Which brings me to: is it irrational to want to be buried in your casket with the necessary tools to escape, in case you were?
Yes, that's irrational.
Yeah, especially in this day and age.
I have a phone call.
What about just a button that, like, one of those?
You're not. It's not like they take your pristine body, put it in a box, and bury you. They cut you open, remove all your organs, stuff you full of fluid. Like
no, but
I'm saying is thoroughly.
But I'm saying don't do all that for me. Put me in an unmarked grave.
Put you in a ditch.
Chris, why do you keep talking about unmarked graves, Chris? Do we need to have an intervention?
No, I'm saying
not
because I don't want
unmarked graves.
I'm saying if any of y'all, which you won't be, are in charge of my. Last earthly request.
Ask, man. We'll do it.
I don't want people to be like, well, we got to buy a funeral plot. And whether it's vertical or horizontal, that can be expensive.
It'll be vertical.
And I'm like, don't bother with that. Just drive out, find a spot that looks empty, dig a vertical grave.
Sure. That's what it'll be.
Put me in, leave me. Then you don't have to worry about
Chris, just get cremated.
But we were talking about
the effects on the environment.
I was all about cremation too before Blaine brought up the negative environmental effects of that. Now I'm like,
it's like Death Stranding, right? Like they talk about like when you destroy one of the bodies, all the pollutants it creates. That's why remember in Death Stranding they had to have like the crematoriums far away. Did you ever play Death Stranding? It's like the first mission. You have to take the body, and then it's like that's what summons the BTs.
I didn't play it.
Anybody?
I feel bad because I went to Kojima Productions or whatever it's called, like out in Tokyo, and they gave us like a tour, and I got like a goodie bag filled with awesome shit. And I met the producer on the game, and I never played it. I bought it just to support them, but I never.
It's a fun game.
Is it?
It's been on my list.
Huh?
It's on my list for like when
game.
I'm just like
They just released the
Director's
cut. Or
Is that what
it's
the
called.
director's cut? Yeah.
I think they gave it some name like that. Anyways,
I feel like being Kojima's friend is basically signing up for just him taking really weird selfies with you a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he's like friends with I think who did he post a picture of today?
Nicholas
Refn?
Yeah.
Yeah, the director.
his Twitter feed's awesome.
Yeah,
It's just like
he was cool.
here's this cassette from the 1980s. That,
I started watching a Netflix show because of Kojima.
Really?
Like he tweeted about All of Us Are Dead, which is on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I hadn't heard of that yet. And I went and I looked. It was like it's like a zombie show. It's a Korean TV show that's like a zombie outbreak in a high school. So it's like all the high school students trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. It's like, oh, I hadn't heard about it. Like I read about it in Kojima's Twitter feed. It's like I'm gonna watch that.
I'm at capacity with zombie stuff. I feel like the last really good one I think was also a Korean film was the one where they're locked in the apartments and it was the guy like talking to
Hashtag Alive.
yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good one. And then Last Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Yeah, that
it's
was
funny because
fucking
in this one, lots of times, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. Lots of times in zombie movies, they're like in universe in the movie, they don't know what zombies are.
Yeah.
They're like the dead are coming back to life. Like they don't have a word for it.
like Shaun of the Dead, they're like, don't say it.
Yeah. In All of Us Are Dead, like one of the characters said, "This is just like Train to Busan." Like, these are zombies, but still, all the other characters are like, "What are you talking about?"
That's so
And
fucking.
it's like, oh my god! Like, so in the universe of this show, they've all seen this movie. They know that zombies are a thing, but everyone's still like, I don't know what's happening.
I was wondering if that was like a legal thing, if zombies are copywritten somehow or something.
Well, the guy that invented them was a terrible businessman, and that's why the first zombie movie is public domain, and you can basically watch
Romero.
it. Yeah, Romero did the least business savvy filmmaker. Yeah.
But he got his movies made, so he's.
Yeah, no, Romero fucking rocks. I'm
I'm just saying, getting a movie made at all takes a lot of financial gumption.
Yeah.
Just like.
That's a good word.
Dawn of the Dead fucking rocks. The original. Oh, the new one's too good too. It's Zack Snyder. It's good.
But yeah, I mean, but they were Walking Dead before that. They just weren't called zombies, probably. Like.
I would argue that he invented the modern.
I
zombie.
think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, like
What year did Night of the Living Dead come out?
It's like 60.
61 or 9.
Can we get you a Barbara?
68.
Oh, dang, so close.
I was gonna say 69. Nice.
Yeah. There was a band in the 60s called the Zombies, like a British band.
Huh.
But it was before all this. They were just like, oh yeah, we've heard, Tales of the Walking Dead. Use that word, the name. It's not interesting. I just
No.
Trivia.
But that's
it,
like
yeah.
he didn't. That's what I'm saying. He didn't invent the zombie.
Right.
Just what we conceive of, what we think of zombies
like,
as. Yeah.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We've talked about BetterHelp on the show before, and this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. We've been taught that mental health, especially talking about it, isn't really part of normal life, but that's not the way that it should be. We take care of our bodies by going to the gym and to the doctor's appointments, and by focusing on things like nutrition. We should also be focusing on our minds just as much. So if you're struggling with anything at all, I know BetterHelp can help you. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. So give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Rooster Teeth Podcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/rooster. That's BetterHelp.com/rooster.
Yeah.
I met Kojima at RTX Sydney. I watched him play a Switch for the first time.
Yeah.
That's a really cool experience.
It was fun.
Guy is.
Played 1-2 Switch. We're like,
Yeah, that was I think we probably played together.
He did like the Revolver Ocelot
Yeah,
thing too,
yeah, he
where he
did.
was like spinning the Joy-Con around.
Hell yeah.
yeah. I remember just like sneaking off to because I think it was like the like not our VIP lounge, but like the badge holder VIP lounge had a Switch with Breath of the Wild set inside. Just like snuck in there. I was just like playing as much Breath of the Wild as I could.
Nice.
No one talked to me. No one bothered
yeah,
me.
Yeah. I was just like,
Man,
I was like, hey, no, we can talk. That's fine. I'm gonna play.
Yeah, I'm not looking at you.
Yeah, I'm here though. I'm
I
here.
would love to go back to Australia.
I just read that they're opening up the borders for vaccinated international travelers February 21st.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I think there was an opportunity for me and some others to go out there and then fucking pandemic.
Oh, that was right before COVID was a thing.
Dude, and we were going to go to fucking Japan. Oh my God, Kerry. I'm still butthurt about that, dude.
I still need to see if I can get money for my ticket back for my second time.
No. Spoiler alert. Like, it's been ages. You never checked on that?
No, like there was one less than a year ago now that I was trying as well.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
No, I think you were, but yeah.
Did we try replanning and then it just fell through?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I'm blocking those memories out because I was so upset.
Yeah, I really want to go to Japan.
Me too. I would also like to see you on a vacation.
Leading up before COVID, I was so excited about Super Nintendo World opening, and I was after the Tokyo Olympics, late summer, early fall, 2020, I'm gonna go check it out.
Nope,
it's been years.
It looks like the size of a mall too, which is kind of a bummer.
Like small?
Yeah, it looks very tiny. The footprint is not big, but I mean, you're in fucking landlocked, or not landlocked. They're not landlocked, but Tokyo is just a lot of business and shit.
That's in Osaka though.
Is it?
Super Nintendo? Yeah, because it's at Universal Studios, which is down in Osaka.
I think you may have just seen pictures of a mall that was Mario themed.
I don't know. I want to go.
Same.
I feel like my first Halloween costume that I remember was Mario.
I thought of you like that little kid in the cartoon, like dressing up like you strike me as such a weirdo that you would prefer Luigi. That you'd be like, I don't want to be Mario. I want to dress up as Luigi.
My next story was literally that my sister sent me a bunch of pictures because on his birthday, he went the entire day dressed as Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi's my boy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Luigi fucking rocks.
I just wanted to be tall, and that didn't happen, but goals.
Back then, though, there was less distinction between Mario and Luigi.
Same.
It was just like slightly different colors. They didn't have like different personalities.
Green Mario.
Well, I guess other than the cartoon. But yeah.
In the movie.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it had come out yet. And I had a tape recorder that had recorded the sound of Mario. So
nice.
And so I'd run around going like with the music. Yeah.
That was like one of the... I remember cosplayers were doing that. The first time I saw a cosplayer who had a boombox on them playing the theme music, I was like, that's fucking brilliant. Oh, what a great time. And then every person after that, I was like, fucking turn that fucking shit off.
You're at a public place.
Yeah. We have rules.
It's like the first time we see a dude like, cruising down Congress or something. He's got a stereo on his backpack. The first time you see it, it's a great little experience. You're like, that's cool. And then every time after that, you're like, this experience is ruined, and I hate that person. They're drawing attention to themselves, and I'm annoyed.
I meant to mention this earlier when we were talking about like power outages and having to boil water and all that shit. If everything shut down in Austin last week because of the ice storm. So we had to do our stream. We do a stream on Thursday. We had to do it remotely from home. And for like a bunch of reasons, I ended up having to host the stream, which I normally don't have to do. So we were playing like Jackbox games. And as we were streaming, like one of my monitors, I have 2 PCs set up. The monitor on my stream PC kept like cutting out. Like it would like turn off and turn back on, and when it did, it would make like the USB disconnected and reconnected sound in Windows, and it was streaming that. So I had to apologize to chat. I was like, I don't know what's going on. My monitor's going out, like it's turning off, turning on. So it's messed up. So sorry that I'm sending the sound. It's not your computer. Then after the stream was over, I went to my living room. And Esther was like, "How was your stream? Was everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" She goes, "The power went out like 8 times while you were." Doing your stream, did you not notice? I was like, oh, that's why my monitor kept turning off. I didn't realize that's what, because everything is on battery backup except for that one monitor. Like even my internet's on battery backup, everything except that one monitor was plugged into the not battery protected outlet.
So I guess I have a misunderstanding of how internet works, because I assume that there was a power component to internet.
Well,
I have that on battery backup too.
Right, but like still, I feel like does whatever that internet connection is connected to, wouldn't that somewhere down the road also be connected to power? And
I mean, if the power went out citywide everywhere, probably,
right.
But it only went out
in like a localized area.
Okay.
So
So I have fiber internet. So there is a device that converts your fiber to Ethernet on premises.
Yeah.
And that has a spot for a battery in it, Lots of times they don't have the battery in there though.
It has a spot for battery in it?
Yes, but when they
I just put a battery backup on it.
No.
I spent money for a new one.
like if you take the cover off, you can put like a battery in there. And in fact, when they did my install, I had an old battery laying around. They're like, "Oh, you don't need this. We can take this away for you." It's like, "No.
Yeah.
Leave that in there.
I want
that." You know, so you
paid for that.
Yeah, you can have that on its own little battery. It doesn't last terribly long. And then like my router and my Wi-Fi and everything else is on a separate like battery backup system.
When I was last freeze, the last thing I did before I lost power was podcasting with Armando Torres over at Funhouse for one of his podcasts, I think Cult Podcast. And I remember the power went out and it blipped back on and then it went back out. And I was like apologizing. I was like, sorry guys, I'll upload the files later. Shouldn't be long. I'll be back on. And then like 30 minutes go by, an hour goes by, 2 hours go by, and I was like, guys, I don't think I'm getting power back. And I started having flashbacks because I was streaming or doing something with some friends this time around, and then I was just like, I'm sure, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? But we got by pretty.
I didn't hear about any big power outages.
No, it was like all localized stuff.
Yeah.
Like
hey,
tree
Greg
branches
Abbott,
falling.
he did it, guys. He saved us.
I love the walking back they did on all the messaging leading up to the storm. Like before the storm, like in October, November, they're like, guaranteed the power's not going out. Then like the day before the storm, they're like, listen, nobody can guarantee the power won't go out. It's like totally. And then as soon as they got through and everything was fine, they're like, we told you the grid's more reliable than ever. Power's not going to go out to you, motherfucker.
I want him to.
There is an entity that can guarantee, or they did guarantee. I guess I should say.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. It turned out fine. A little bit of snow, whatever.
Yeah, it was.
No water though.
Yeah. But I felt like
I'll drink to that.
I felt like
not water.
Yeah.
the whole city was on edge. Like
Yes.
everyone was
State.
panic buying. Yeah, I can't speak to the state. I can speak to what I saw in Austin. Like people were like
Empty
making
shelves.
runs on grocery stores, hoarding water.
Even a couple of days after I went and like I was like, "Where's the lunch meat? Oh, it's just all gone.
Yeah.
Just all of the lunch meat's gone. Just, the whole thing's empty."
I haven't even gone back to the grocery store yet because I'm sure it's still like pretty picked over, especially now with the water thing going on.
Yeah.
But I stocked the fuck up, and it was like days well before everybody started panic buying. And I went to a place that was not HEB because everyone immediately rushes to HEB for good reason. HEB is a great grocery store, but like I got by unscathed.
Yeah, like I saw like the local news interviewing like outside the local HEB, one of the HEBs in Austin. You know, the night before the storm, because like on Wednesday night it started raining before the freeze, and they were interviewing like someone at the store, and he's like, "Yep, I made a bet with a friend of mine about how long it would take me to go to HEB. I won the bet. Only took me 3.5 hours to buy what I needed and check out." It's like, oh my god, you were there for 3.5 hours.
No one won in that situation.
Yeah.
If I mentioned this, I think I mentioned this before we started recording, so if I didn't, stop me. I had saved up a bunch of water because of the freeze. I like filled up a bunch of containers and buckets and stuff because I was like, well, if the water cuts out again, I'm gonna have like a bunch of these containers filled with good water. Saturday afternoon, I'm like, made it through the freeze. Dumping all this. I don't need all these like random containers of water on my counter anymore. And then like 3 or 4 hours later, don't drink the water. And I was like, God, all my good water.
All my good water.
You're watching it swirl down the stream. You're like, no.
Yeah, I was on Saturday night when they announced that boil water notice. Like I hadn't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I saw it was available to rent finally. I was like, oh, I'm gonna rent it and watch it. And I'm watching the movie. Then like halfway through, I see Chris sends a Slack. I'm like, I'll read that later. You sent it, I like put it down, and then like
you go get a fresh glass of water and just chug it down. Oh, yummy!
Because I was in the middle of the movie and everything. Then like 2 minutes later, I get like the automated text from the city of Austin that's like, "Don't drink the water, boil." I was like, "Oh fuck." then I had already paused the movie, so I like opened the Slack. Like, "Yep, that's what Chris was sending."
Did not take my own advice. Drank the water all night.
I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, how do we and it was out of curiosity because like obviously we went through a very traumatic experience with that freeze last year, but like I don't know if it qualifies as PTSD, and it seems kind of weird for me to say it in that same category as like a dude who was like in fucking war. So we were just like kind of just like talking about that because we didn't really have anything else to talk about. But just like the idea of like trauma and that shared experience that we all went through.
Yeah, I mean, people have different experiences with it, but I do feel like there's like a on edge fear of like, oh well, I don't want to like not have food or not be able to like not have heat, where I'm like like shaking in my bed under a blanket
or
like for like 5 days. Yeah.
My the night that it was like raining, we were getting fucking pissed on by like cold freezing rain. And I wasn't sleeping very well because I kept getting up to like go check if this is dripping, and then look outside and is my electricity still on? Like I was just like, I did. Oh fuck! Last year it left a mark.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we all didn't realize how big of a mark it left until this last week when it's like we thought it was going to happen again.
Yeah. It pissed me off though because like in the Austin subreddit and stuff like that and on Facebook, like I didn't do anything like panicky. Like I stacked up on more stuff than usual, but it wasn't a thing where I was like ripping toilet paper out of grandma's hands. I just felt prepared. And
now with your current state, you can do that with your arm. Yeah.
Fuck you. but then but people on the like Texas subreddit and the Austin subreddit were like, oh, you know, they look at it, panic buying bubble, like acting like so tough and like everyone's freaking out, and
I feel like just a lot of like northern states made fun of us. It's like it's just a couple days of cold. It's like no, we get that. It's just like that doesn't.
It's not the cold. It's the infrastructure that there's no snowplows.
Well,
there's
also,
no.
We're not used to it.
There's no salt.
The weirdest thing, and I think the key difference here that it's difficult to understand if you don't live here is since it's so warm most of the time, we can have this experience like we had last week where you get a soaking rain and it's not freezing yet. It'll rain like I think the night before the freeze it rained like 2 or 3 inches in some parts around here, and then it immediately starts freezing. So like all of that water hit, and it's not that it snows; it's that everything then freezes, and all that water that just hit then turns into ice. Like I still had ice in. We got above freezing. When did we get above freezing?
I had ice this morning.
I still had ice in my yard last night.
Yeah, same.
It's fucking crazy that it can go from warm to then really cold so quickly. Like normally, like in a northern state, it's already cold.
Yeah.
Or it stays cold for
it wasn't.
quite a bit.
It was 70 the day before.
Right, and then on top of that, they also have the infrastructure to deal with it. Like pipes are buried deeper. They have plows and
salt and cars and tires.
And here they tried to salt and sand the roads, but then because it rained 2 to 3 inches right before it froze, it all gets washed off.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back, and like we've talked this to death on the podcast too, where it's like anytime we post, oh, it's like a cold day in Austin, inevitably some fucking asshole from Minnesota is gonna be like, oh, well, it's 17 here or whatever. And it's so frustrating. It's just because we're not acclimated. We're Texans. This is all very new to us. But it's like in San Francisco when their electricity goes out and they don't have AC and they're having to hold like a heat wave or something. Like we're not like, fuck you, it's 100 some degrees in Austin every day.
No, I do that. Yeah, no. I search for like hashtag hot, hashtag dying.
You got them saved on your phone.
Yeah,
hashtag hot, sexy people.
Yeah, I definitely get a lot of what I'm not looking for. But no, I give it right back. No, I'm just like kind of like go back to what you were saying before of like feeling weird about like at what level something like PTSD or something like that. I mean, it's like trauma's real.
Yeah.
And we everybody's gonna have different levels of it. It just because it's not as bad as somebody else's doesn't mean it doesn't matter.
Doesn't mean it's not invalid.
Yeah, exactly.
My neighbor, who I totally broed out with the last time, like I had just gotten back. I went to a bakery to go get a loaf of bread because I was gonna make like a big thing of soup with me and my girlfriend. I was very excited, and like we caught each other's eyes from across the alleyway, and at the exact same time we were like, "Are you ready? Are we
gonna do this?"
There was like a level of excitement, but also like not this.
I feel very guilty because my experience was not that bad.
Yeah.
Last year, so I was just
you
like,
piece of shit.
I know. So I'm like, I was like worried, and I stocked up some stuff, but I'm also like, I didn't go through the same thing as a lot of people did.
Mine wasn't that bad either, but that's why I get extra worried. Like, oh, now I'm due.
Right.
Like last time it was their turn. This time it's my turn.
Yeah.
There's like some places in Austin like that still like because of all the rain and stuff like that were like flooded and shit. The housing market in Austin, like what you have to choose from for places to live in Austin is just so fucked right now.
Yeah.
I sent that listing to you guys. It was essentially someone's shed in their backyard. And
350 square feet.
Yeah, $1,200 or something.
$1,200 a month. Deposit of 1 month's rent and first month rent prepaid.
Yeah, it was just like an insane ask. Like it's insane in Austin.
You can't. That's like what 4 bodies, based on like what we were talking about earlier.
See, if everyone could live vertically,
what we really need to.
You should be able to like get a bed where you can strap yourself to the wall and like across your forehead,
like astronauts
across your chest. Yeah, and that's like you can sleep so much.
Well,
more
yeah, no, you get a Murphy bed, but then you put it back up.
You deploy it, lay on it, and bring it back in.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or like water beds, but like, and I don't mean water beds in the old way. I'm talking about
like a back to tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like a vertical back that like you get.
Why have the water?
Because then you're like.
Because then you're
floating. You're not. You don't have gravity pressing down on your feet.
Your bones.
Yeah, but then
Like-
you got to think of the impact it has. Like you stay in a pool for 45 minutes, your skin is just like. So like
Maybe
coming
you
out
put
of
some lotion in the water. I don't know.
Whoa! Why just dip in lotion?
Oh, yeah, like a lotion back the.
That'd be great for your skin. Like an over.
Some sort of gooey goo that you get into.
Yeah. Chris is gonna stand up in some goo all night long.
And
You're like the Matrix. So you
it'll
pop
like
out.
kind of suspend you, but also maybe like moisturize.
Yeah. You're just a nubile baby for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't
think about
age.
that. If you did that, I bet we'd all look way better.
I like that Chris just crossed his arms like, yeah, really, I'm onto something.
I figured it out.
Well, we were just talking about how, that was like 10 years ago, simple walk and mortar, we look like babies. We wouldn't have if we'd been in a back to tank of goo.
It's the truth. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's going to be something coming up?
Except for those back to tank deniers.
That is true.
Do you think there'll be something that like is
beneficial.
revolutionized a very traditional thing that we've been dealing with? Like, okay,
Yes.
I guess the best example I have is like a squatty potty changed the pooping game for a lot of people. I don't fucking care. Do you think that there's another thing that's going to come out like that?
It's something that's so fundamental that we think we've got covered.
You're right, but it's like, oh, we need to scratch the surface.
Specific to pooping?
No, just like in life.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, hey, we'll think about everything else. You can think about pooping.
I feel like there's some like kind of like how memory foam happened. I feel like there's another sleep revolution.
My sci-fi one.
Let me tell you about a purple mattress, Blaine. It's got the grid.
Man, I was so frustrated. Everyone in this company has gotten a fucking purple mattress at some point, and I'm just high and dry. I ain't gotten,
You hear that? You hear that? Blaine needs a place to.
I've got a coupon code for you.
Oh yeah,
I can help
I
you
get
out.
uplift desks out the ass though.
Oh, dude.
They gave me a third desk.
What?
They're not sponsoring.
They're not
but
sponsoring this podcast. Don't talk about them.
They are pretty great.
Let's talk later. I think that this is like my sci-fi. My pitch
Okay.
is if we could figure out how to be conscious in our sleep, like
So,
let
like-
our bodies rest but still do things with our minds.
Yeah. That's.
But I would say this: a lot of when we're in sleeping, that is our mind
For your brain.
processing. The reason,
Yeah.
If you ever,
Hurdle number one. That's all I'm hearing.
if you've ever gone a long period of time without sleeping,
Never.
and then try and remember that period of time,
Yeah,
you're like, I don't really remember. I have like flashes of it because your brain
Yeah.
doesn't like
I
process.
How
it.
many
just
times
like-
do you sleep in a week, Chris?
I mean, every night. Okay. But what do you mean?
Are you asleep right now?
Oh, I see. That was a subtle dig. But you know what?
Can't get one by you, Chris.
Make that dig vertical, because
I just saw a GIF of that on Reddit where it was like some type of scan. I don't know what it was of like what your brain does when you're sleeping, and it's like releasing like liquid basically to clean out your brain as you sleep. So again, we got to get past that. If you have fluid, we got to get spinal fluid.
Spinal fluid.
That goes in the spine.
What's it doing up in my brain?
they got to have something for like that, because, who was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about Michael about this Pedialyte for like you.
Yeah.
If you're drunk or hungover or something, you drink Pedialyte and you feel a lot better really quick.
Electrolytes,
And then, and then like they're like, oh yeah, well in Vegas and stuff, and some anywhere
You
basically.
get like an IV.
People can hire people to come give them an IV in the morning, so they immediately they get rid of their hangover, which is like, who would have thought that? I mean, there's a
That
cure
can't
for.
sustain though, right? Like
Oh no, it does, because
Really?
what is a hangover but like your body being depleted of water and like needing nutrients?
Those fucking IVs.
But that's like yuppie, like crazy.
Right.
You're not gonna.
we need to
quick,
bring
I need-
that to the home.
Yeah, the people coming to do that in Vegas, they had like stations set up. Which
I think
was like,
I think some people start doing that. I mean, again, if you have the money, recovering from COVID, they'll get like vitamin C or like IVs just to like.
and I
try
could
help
see
them
that
feel
when you
better.
have like when you're legitimately like sick. But
There's
just,
places in Austin. My ex used to go all the time, and like they'll just fucking hook you up and give you a vitamin pump.
but we need that for like brain.
brain.
goo.
Yeah.
There's I mean, this is James Bond science, so it's like not real, but I think it's like Tomorrow Never Dies or something. It's the one where he goes parasailing on a sinking iceberg, and there's all those waves. Anyways, the bad guy in that does not sleep. He does like these like micro nap.
Die Another Day?
Die Another Day.
I think it's Die Another Day.
Yeah, I think
More like
Madonna
Sleep
was
Another
in
Day.
No. It's day 5.
Die Another Day 5.
Anyways, the bad guy in that does not sleep.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting concept. But yeah, I think that, and like I feel like sex. There's gonna be something that augments sex in your spinal cord or something. And
I got some websites to show you. If you want to augment sex.
Well,
He was looking for like hot days, and he found something different.
what's the Stallone movie where he goes in the future? The 3 shells.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Yeah.
I got you covered. All your movies.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Anyway,
they like have like VR sex and that. So I bet we'll have that.
I figured out poop thing.
Okay.
I revolutionized
Thank God,
it.
Chris, tell us more.
It's gonna be a suction cup tube thing that,
Like the astronauts?
yeah, like astronauts.
Astronaut.
It'll be like you'll suck it up and it'll go, thump, and it'll suck it all up. And not only will it get whatever you have to go, it'll make sure everything's clear because it'll just do it all at once because it'll have suction.
You're
You know,
going to need some kind of bidet combined with it.
Do you know what?
sure, but
What do you mean, sure? I fixed a lot of your problems.
Well, no, but like I agree. But I'm saying like as far as like speed and efficiency and like you're not waiting for your body to like
Chris, wait, so you're talking about it like...
Are you familiar with the concept of prolapsing?
I don't want
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds very dangerous.
I don't want
Yeah.
to talk about this.
Let's not talk
I
about it.
hadn't thought about prolapsing. I mean, like you, maybe a mesh at the top. No, wait. So, like yours, there's
I think he is.
some kinks to, you know.
Yeah, there's some kinks for sure.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by DoorDash. Your to-do list is filled to the brim between those meetings, errands, chores, and making some time for yourself too. So make sure you get a little time for yourself with some help from DoorDash. DoorDash brings you what you want to eat right now, right to your door. Sure, you can get meals from restaurants you love, but now you can get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash in under an hour. Desperately craving a late night snack, or you forgot one key ingredient for dinner? Maybe you just want to stock up for next week? With DoorDash, you get it all in one app. DoorDash is easy to use. It's pretty much everything I want. Even with dietary restrictions, it's super simple to get exactly what you want with a tap of your phone. I like it because it couldn't be easier, and I always get what I want, Gus style. That's me. I'm Gus. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app. Enter code ROOSTER. That's 25% off, up to a $10 value, 0 delivery fees on your first order. When you download the DoorDash app in the App Store, enter code ROOSTER. Don't forget, it's code ROOSTER for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply. Has anybody watched Murderville on Netflix yet?
Not yet.
No, I want to so bad.
Behind
Pretty
my
good.
house.
It's only 6 episodes.
Okay.
They're all about a half hour long, more or less.
Okay. Do you need to watch them in order?
Actually, yes.
Okay. Okay.
There is like an overarching story between all of them.
Okay.
It's not like crazy, complicated or anything, but there
It's
is
worth
like
it.
a little connective tissue.
Yeah.
If you don't know, like the basic premise is that like Will Arnett plays a homicide detective in a city, and then every episode he gets a new trainee detective, and it's like a different guest star, and the trainee or the guest star has to improv. Like they have no idea what the script is.
Whoa.
Yeah, they've
It's like
written out a script. and
Everyone
there's-
else has the script,
Yeah.
except for the guest star.
That's such a good
fucking
concept.
great, dude.
Yeah, and it's like they have no idea what's going on, and at the end of the episode, the guest star has to figure out who was the murderer
That's
in their
awesome.
episode.
That's such a good idea.
It's so
And it's shot
good.
like cinematically, I'm imagining, right?
I mean, to an extent, it's pretty lo-fi at times, especially when they're doing like on a set,
Yeah.
like in like their police station or whatever. Just because I assume they have to get like multi-camera, a lot of coverage.
Yeah,
all
I'm
at
guessing they're
once.
set up for like multicam so they can capture like everything or have stuff to cut away to.
Right.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff gets like a little looks a little cheap.
Yeah.
But I think the concept is so strong that like you quickly forget about that stuff. It's just really fun. And then like
Do they break character
well, sometimes
or like break in general?
it depends on the guest.
Yeah.
But sometimes yeah. And then like they have different bits that they'll do all the time. But one of the bits that they bring back a lot is they're like to the guest, they're like, here, put this earpiece in, go in there, talk to these people, and you have to say everything I tell you exactly how I say it.
It's almost like prank show too.
Yeah.
That's such a good.
That
It
totally
kinda-
It's an amazing concept. It's so good.
that pokes a hole or a marketing thing. I think it's Daniel Radcliffe is supposed to be doing a movie where nothing is scripted or he doesn't have a script or something. And like they're like, it's going to be an artistic revolution. So I'm glad that they cut him off at the knees with this show. That sounds fucking rad.
Yeah, but like the overarching story is that like Will Arnett's old partner was murdered 15 years ago, and he's trying to figure out who did it. So it's like there's like little bits and pieces of that throughout the series, and
That sounds very good.
It's kind of like that old movie with what was like The Man Who Knew Too Little.
Oh, yeah.
And it was who was in that?
was that Don Knotts in it?
No, there was.
Has Don Knotts ever been mentioned on this podcast before?
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, it's like a guy signs up for like some sort of like basically like a escape room type thing where you're like, oh, you're a spy, and they're gonna, it's a touristy thing where they're all going through this thing, but somehow while he signs up for it, but then ends up accidentally intercepting an actual spy thing. But he thinks it's all just part of the bit, so he's going along with it and like doing this. Okay, yeah, I'll go to, and he's like. Got a gun and like doing all these like crazy spy things because he just like the beginning of the tour group just like
Alfred Molina's in it. That's cool.
Passed away at some point. It was like a really fun concept, but that sounds funner.
Yeah, it's fun. I think the guests it's Conan O'Brien. Who's in the second? I don't remember the second. It's Conan O'Brien, Kumail Nanjiani. Oh, Marshawn Lynch, Sharon Stone, Ken Jeong. And Amy Murphy, is that her name? Yeah, I think Amy Murphy.
Ken Jeong, who bravely walked off the set of Masked Singer when Rudy Giuliani
I can't believe they had Rudy Giuliani.
But that was real? I thought,
yes.
Yeah.
It's all a fucking marketing scheme. Everyone's talking about it like us, and they're going to go watch it.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'll watch some YouTubers, pulling it illegally because I don't want to fucking support that. Stupid.
Have y'all been keeping up with the meta on Twitch lately? Of just watching TV shows and just waiting to see how much in trouble they get?
Oh, wait.
No. I've been watching. God, this is my connection to Zoomers. If you're out there, I'm here. I'm listening. My entertainment for the past several weeks has been watching a Twitch streamer watch MasterChef.
Interesting.
And it's just working. It's just happening.
So, like, do they show the show or do they show themselves?
Nope. Show chat's up too, and they just talk about it, and they'll pause and they'll talk about it. Chat talks about it, but they're just rebroadcasting it.
Okay.
Are they cracking down on that like in a big way? Like
the particular streamer I was watching, they issued like a DMCA and then they undid it.
I mean, it's not that much different than video commentary on stuff. Like
it's not, and like there are some of them that are making like an attempt to stop and talk about what happened.
Versus just like broadcasting the show.
Yeah.
If you're stopping and like, oh, here's what I think, and then that's what a lot of like there's YouTube. What do you call those video?
Like video essays.
Video essays. A little more edited than that. But.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely one streamer just started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender and got clapped in a day because Viacom is Viacom.
It doesn't seem like that would hold up. It seems like the DMCA would stick.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they undid it.
I don't know.
My favorite example of that, and this is like ages ago, and it's done to death now, but someone I think streamed like a UFC fight, and then they had a controller, and they were acting like they were playing. I thought that was fucking brilliant.
That makes me think. There's like an Old Spice commercial on TV right now that's supposed to be like a character in a football game, like talking about Old Spice or whatever. But it's like watching that commercial, like. This commercial looks so much worse than what actual football video games really do look like. It's a funny disconnect that they like try to emulate a video game for this commercial, but it looks like a shitty version.
Could just come to us and do machinima
of the video game.
Yeah.
It's like,
we could have done it.
There's so many examples of that where it's like you see a bad video game or a bad movie, and you're like, this looks like the fake video game in a commercial or in the background of a movie.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Arceus. We should probably talk about that. I think it looks like dog shit, but I heard it plays.
I've been waiting with bated breath. I mean, you're all playing
Pokemon
Legends : Arceus, right?
I have not yet, but I want to.
I don't get a Pokemon in my colon until 45.
Jeez. I heard it's very good. I heard really
not if you sign up for my system.
Yeah.
You're poop in a box.
Not poop in a box.
Oh, right.
Suck it out.
Do you think that this is the new way that they'll be doing Pokemon games?
No. I think I would love it if this became like its own thing, and then they keep releasing
but new
mainline
present day and stuff.
Yeah, or just keep going in this region. It's a lot of fun. Everybody said it. It looks like Chris's invention about toilets.
Well,
Pokemon
that's
Legends.
not supposed to look
Legends
good.
Arceus.
Pokemon Legends :
There's a colon somewhere.
Yeah, Pokemon Legends.
Okay.
colon.
Oh, I see.
I'm
I
telling
see.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
Arceus.
Arceus. Got it. Got it. It's very important. It looks bad, and I'm still having fun. I'm still playing it, so it's like whatever. My biggest issue is that and everybody said this to death, and it's whatever. Breath of the Wild looks amazing.
Yeah.
It was a Switch launch title that also worked on the Wii U. And obviously, the Pokemon Company makes these games, not Nintendo.
Breath of the Wild was on Wii U?
Yep.
Yeah, because initially it was gonna
Yep.
be
it
a
was
Wii U
delayed
title,
for
and
Yeah.
then they
It launched day one on the Wii U and the Switch. Everybody just played on the Switch, really.
Fucking wild. Man.
Yeah. So
Breath
Breath
of
of the Wild.
I just as a person who has been fortunate enough to, make media in their lives and has also dealt with budgets, it's just so frustrating. The Pokemon Company has so much money, and they couldn't make their game look at least as good as a 2017 Wii U game.
Yeah.
It just sounds bad to say out loud with
Yeah.
my mouth,
and they
It's
said
fun.
Well,
they
it's
said it was
reached meme level.
limitations.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you see people bitching about it nonstop. It's just like a recurring joke, like a common shared joke.
Compared to like Oblivion, and like Oblivion's like water graphics look way better.
And like for the most part, I'm just playing the game. I'm just having fun. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I'm just constantly just like rah, rah, rah. But then you'll see what should be like a really cool thing is in the distance a Gyarados flying above a lake, and you think, oh shit, I'm gonna catch that. That's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna run over there. I'm gonna throw a Pokeball without even doing a battle. It's gonna be awesome. But the loading distance has made the Gyarados is playing back at 5 frames a second,
Ugh.
and it just takes the magic away.
Yeah. Sucks, man.
I don't know. It's fun. It's really fun. I think it's a great place if you've never played Pokemon before.
I've only played one. It was like X,
Yeah.
Y. It was a 3DS one. That was it, right?
Oh, because that was in the midst of the
Yes.
big 3DS thing.
Yeah.
So we're all like street passing and shit like that.
Yeah. The X and Y was 3DS. I thought X and Y was very good.
X and Y is when I dropped off. I didn't beat that one.
It's fine. It's fine. It is a very different game. They've backseated battling to catching,
Cool.
which is very fun.
I got an analog pocket, which is like a
You motherfucker.
No. Let's be clear. I'm waitlisted till 2023.
Oh, me too. Okay. No,
yeah,
same boat.
We're on the
Yeah,
same boat.
same boat.
But
I was gonna fucking. I don't care about your 12 gallons of water. I'm going to your fucking house to take the pocket if you have.
I'm
one.
so I'm waitlisted, but in the meantime, I'm trying to get all of the Game Boy. Like I want to get Fire Red and or Leaf Green, Emerald. All those. They're so fucking hard to track down. And Analog's whole thing is like preserving game history, so they're anti-piracy. But I think I'm probably gonna have to get a. They have like these cartridges that are for.
I'm tempted to buy an analog pocket on eBay right now.
No, don't
Get
fucking do it,
just
dude.
From a scalper just to spite you.
Don't support that
So-
bullshit.
so
if
for-
you're
for
listening and you're a scalper, go fuck
For
yourself.
clarity's sake, I think the analog pocket costs $300. on its own?
It's like
250, 300?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
How much?
Well, I
how
can
much
get
you
one for
think?
$1,000 right now.
For anybody who doesn't know, an analog pocket is an emulation machine where you actually use the cartridges. I think you can it has emulators on it too.
I'm
games
gonna
you can't find.
I'm
For
gonna
games you can't
get
find.
a cartridge that has emulators on it. You fucking technology is amazing now. You can buy a Game Boy Advance cartridge that has the entire Game Boy Advance library on it.
That's pretty
I think it's called the Ever. I have it pulled up on my phone.
And you of course wouldn't do that.
No, I'm absolutely doing that because I can't find these fucking games.
Yeah.
And they're all $200 and they need battery
Well, allegedly
replacements.
you would do that.
EverDrive.
EverDrive, yeah. Allegedly you would do it.
Are you trying to help me cover my bases?
He's trying. You're not.
Yes,
It's
no,
trying.
I know. I wouldn't. I'm thinking about
So
it. I would
hard.
never, though. I want to
Yeah.
buy the original.
I definitely don't have
games.
like a custom Raspberry Pi Game Boy that I emulate games on that I can't
sure.
find. Yeah, definitely.
No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
Eric
do that.
says preserving game history with ROMs.
Yeah.
Listen, it's hard. Like Nintendo apparently did not print out many of like Emerald. It's so fucking hard.
I
to find
skipped that whole
Emerald.
generation, so I don't. I have all. I have
Skipped Emerald.
Yeah, I skipped the third generation. I have all the cartridges for the first 2 generations.
I have them as well, and in Japanese.
Nice.
Yeah. Went to what was that Akihabara?
Yeah.
Bought them all there. I bought 2 copies of Leaf Green.
I
Or
have,
sorry,
I just have
green.
green. Yeah.
I'm trying,
In Japanese.
Had to get it.
I'm trying to think if I collect anything nowadays.
Yeah.
If I have any collect.
Like if you currently collect anything.
Yeah,
Like
I don't.
flip.
I don't collect anything. like I used to when I was like, oh, I have all these movies, my movie collection, my music collection. I don't collect anything. I mean,
I
physical
stopped
stuff.
buying collector's editions of games and stuff. Like I have too many things.
That's the thing. It's like I hate having things
We're
and
old
physical
now.
stuff,
Yeah.
and just like, oh, this is just stuff I have to carry around now.
Yeah.
Like-
you got to put this in your house somewhere.
Yeah. So I don't really like try and collect stuff.
What do you think is your most prized possession?
My most.
There's a right. Okay. I was
What?
gonna say there's a right answer to this, and
What
it's
is
your
your
dog.
mo-
And if you didn't say dog, I was gonna
What
punch
is
you.
your most prized capitalistic
Booger is a good
possession?
Not that's not alive.
Yeah. Or to be clear with Chris, was never alive.
Well, okay. Well, then my
Actually, if you got some stuff, that's fine. Yeah, go for it.
most prized.
I know what yours is,
capitalistic
Gus.
thing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any action figures or toys, retro stuff?
well, it'd probably be a bunch of like stuff I had from like middle school or high school or stuff that's like old.
Like an original Green Day album of Dookie.
Well, no, more stuff I made with my friends.
No,
like,
I don't care about that shit. What do you have that I would want the most?
That you would
Like a collector's item, not
Yeah.
sentimental value for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have a bunch of Pokemon cards that I think might be worth
Yeah.
a good
garbage.
amount. Like some,
Yeah.
some
PSA
like
10?
first
Did you
edition
get 'em graded
stuff, and
Did you get them graded? PSA 10?
no, I haven't had them graded.
Are they still like fucking backed up at
think
those
so, yeah.
places?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they just have like cardboard boxes stacked filled with Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I don't know
for
how.
people
If
ungraded.
any, I need to like
I'll grade them for you.
really.
Sure. Yeah, you got it.
Really?
Went for it.
That's legally binding. Yeah, I got certified.
Now I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said it on a podcast.
Yeah, it's a profit split. Don't worry about it.
I went through.
I'll split if you can get rid of them.
I'll get rid of them for you, no problem, Chris.
I have a binder because there's one RTX where I started setting up Pokemon trades with like community members, and I'd bring my deck and they'd bring theirs, and got a bunch of good stuff. But like I have a full binder of all of the originals plus their variations, like the Japanese variation stuff. I'm very proud of that. It's pretty cool.
What the hell was that?
There's something back there.
It's Chris.
Oh, is it
Oh,
Chris?
that
Yeah.
was me. Yeah, that was my. I was
Yeah.
resting my hand on the wood back here.
Sorry, Blaine. I thought something
you're
was.
good.
I thought something was behind the set
No,
moving
it freaked
around.
me out too. I thought Kool-Aid Man was about to pop or something.
Yeah, I thought Eric was going to come out too.
I thought Eric was hiding back.
I would say it was like when you hear noises in the walls, you normally think it's rats, but
Yeah.
Or Eric. Or
Can I, just to confirm, can I guess what yours is?
What is it?
Is your WoW server.
It's my World of Warcraft server easily. I've got
that's pretty cool. Though.
I've got
Yeah.
like some weird like old things. I have like an original Xbox signed by Bill Gates. It was on the podcast set forever. Like I had a bunch of stuff on the podcast set or like in the broadcast area before we moved into this temporary space that like when we were moving out of there, it's like I need to take some of this stuff home.
This is mine.
Just so we're clear, this stuff is mine,
Yeah.
and I'm taking it just so that it doesn't get damaged or hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like while we wait to
It
go
can
over
still
to
be
our
a prop,
permanent space. Yeah,
but
like
it's
it'll come
mine.
back.
Yeah.
But I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
This stuff is mine.
Yeah.
Because like I look around, there's like a lot of old stuff. Like in the makeup room over there was like that old like diner art of like the glasses of beer.
Oh, yeah.
Like I bought that years ago. It was like from a company that used to supply diner art for diners in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s. Like there's weird stuff that you don't think about that's like on the walls or various places around here. It's like, that's actually mine. I paid for that.
Similar thing where we kind of like moved our spaces around and like I was like I'm gonna take all my stuff home and it's like that's mine. This is mine.
There's something about coming back in office, like slowly but surely. Omnicron's kind of like pumped the brakes on it just a bit. But we're still in office a lot. Where like when we were like salvaging a desk space and like putting together our stuff, there was like this level of like hunter gathering where we were like going into offices and like, well, I do need this monitor and here's some HDMI cables. It's like it felt like crafting in Breath of the Wild or something. Like you're collecting these resources.
And every tech person in this company was just like, God damn it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
God damn it.
It's so weird walking through office space and it's just like it's empty, but it's coming back.
No,
but
it's
weird.
not empty because there's ghosts at every computer. Because a lot of the people are working remotely, so there'll be computers that are just moving around and doing
The computers
stuff.
aren't moving.
They're being controlled remotely,
Yeah.
and it's fucking trippy.
and like who was I standing next to you earlier today and we're
No, it was Andrew Rosas.
Andrew Rosas and we were sitting there and he's like, wait, how the fuck is that computer moving? Who's moving that computer? I was like, oh, it's me. I'm doing it in my jet. And he's like, no, it's like, really? It's like, no, that's Neil. He's editing.
Yeah.
But that's his computer. It's just remote, you know.
Yeah.
That technology's been around for a while, and it always freaked me out because I won't say who, but that software is installed on my computer so that someone could like get on to like render or whatever. And I remember at one point I was like working, and then it activated, and I took my hands off as my mouse just went ooh. It started doing stuff, and I was like, they can see everything I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
This is really weird.
Trying to get it to like close the Pornhub tab real quick.
I'm fighting their mouse.
For a while, like when the broadcast department was really small down at Ralph Albanado,
Yeah. Annex.
we had like a computer set up that I could remote into from the set if I needed to like trigger things, or if I needed to like call up graphics. It was like in the other room, in the control room, like on my laptop, like, all right, I can remote into that, like load up a graphic, or like, you know, get something ready to show, since we didn't have the technology to do it any other way.
Or the people to do it.
Or the people, yeah. We had
The
like,
AirPlay or whatever where you cast or whatever wasn't around.
remember, I would do that for a camera sometimes. Like I would AirPlay my phone, then I'd turn the camera on my phone, and it would just show whatever was like.
Yeah.
So it was like a cheap way to add an extra camera.
I would love to go back and visit there, but it's nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever that is or was before,
Yeah, that's
it's not.
trespassing.
Yeah. I tried that one time at my old house.
Visit your old place.
Yeah, in East Texas. I was like, hadn't been back, and, you know, I went to go visit like old house, and it's like out in the country, and there's like, kind of like, had to like,
Can't with you, man.
with a lake. And, you know, was like going, and I was with someone, and I was like,
Accomplice.
yeah. I was like, oh, look, I used to rope swing down here. And then someone came out like down the road, because it's a long hill, and they were like yelling at me, and I couldn't hear them. And then they pulled out a gun. And, and then I was like, we're going out. Yeah. I was like, that escalated. I mean, because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't like.
You were trespassing, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, but very non-threateningly in the middle of the day, as if I was like.
Did you have like a white flag that you're like?
I was just like, hey, you've never had any gone to an old place where you lived, and you're like, hey, I used to live here, you know.
No.
I haven't. I get it. I think that.
Yes, you have. You've done this. They did it for the documentary.
Yeah, but not on my own.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like I would never do it on my own.
And not in the middle of East Texas.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kerry. Yeah,
That was all I was gonna say. It's just not in the middle of East Texas. Like that's where I'm like, or maybe like call ahead. I guess you can't really call ahead.
No, you still got the landline there.
Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah.
Did you ever have a is it rotary
phone?
Yeah. Did you ever have one of those? Anything?
My great grandmother did.
We had a rotary phone. Rockwell.
I had one. I don't know if you remember this. When touch-tone phones first came out, God, I'm fucking old. When touch-tone phones first came out, if you had a touch-tone phone, you had to pay extra to be able to use the touch-tone on it.
What?
Yeah, like if you didn't pay the extra touch-tone fee, and like let's say you hit 5 on your touch-tone, it would like click like a rotary sound for 5. So instead of being like beep for 5, it'd be like like
Was there someone on the other end just doing it for you?
It's probably like it was some analog switch somewhere. So you had to pay the touch-tone fee in order to be able to use a touch-tone phone on the network. It was such nickel and dime bullshit.
We had an actual in my house in Rockwell. That house must have been built in the 20s or something. But it had like the pulling it off and holding it up to your ear, like the separate things.
Oh my!
Yeah, and I remember like being like 6 or something and being like, "What is that?"
Like, was it like a family heirloom?
No, it was just in the house.
You're not that old, man.
And that's what his most prized possession.
Yeah.
No, I was actually just thinking about that. I mean, I have a bunch of action figures. I guess my Pokemon games and like maybe my Jeep. It's so fucking old and I love it so much. And it's not like a common Jeep either. It's got square headlights on it.
Yeah, I asked y'all. I don't know what mine is. It's probably.
It surprises me. I feel like you have like a lot of cool shit like that.
I bought too much shit. Is the problem.
I you know what I miss though about that? It's like that whole, and I say I miss, as in there's nostalgia to it, but it's awful. But the shared line where you could like pick it up and you'd be like, it could go for anyone. You never know who it was going to be, or it's like. Be like, you wait, is someone else is someone listening to me? Like, is my little brother trying to listen in my conversation?
Yeah, now it's just the fucking NSA doing it.
Yeah, I know.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
But like, just
That's
the
that click, man.
confusion,
I'm telling you.
of that was like so chaotic and fun, you know? where it's like you pick up the line, you're like, I'm trying to find so-and-so. You're like, hey, like, and then you wait. It's like someone else picks up the phone. Hello? It's like, hey,
looking for
Mom, I got this. I got this.
Yeah, sorry, I'm breaking with my girlfriend right now. Can you make the call back?
Yeah, I just remember like there was a time where I was like playing with my little brother, and the phone rang, and he was just like really young at that point, and the answer was for like my mom or dad or something, and he's like, and he's like, hey, my brother, he just said this, and he starts telling the story about the game that me and my brother were playing, and he was on the phone for like several minutes before my mom was like, what are you doing? Who's on the phone? It's like, oh, I'm talking to Dave. It's for you. And then, but he was just telling this random stranger about the stuff that we like.
I one time accidentally, there was a shared family computer, obviously. We didn't have our individual PCs and stuff at the time. And I got on and I thought my AOL Instant Messenger was logged in. So I was just like going through, and then there's somebody that I didn't recognize, and I was like, hey, who is this? Whatever. I started talking to him. I was logged in as my sister, and it was her crutch. And she found out she wanted to fucking kill me.
Oh my god!
Did you slide in there for her though?
I accidentally did. I actually asked her recently. She married one of the guys that she had a crush on in high school, and I'm not sure if it was him or not, but it could have been me.
Hey, you know what? She's not here. It was.
Yeah.
It was her.
You did it.
It was him. Whatever.
You did it. Congratulations.
Yeah. I still remember that when I first started here, our main source of communication amongst each other was AIM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This for years.
Yeah.
And now Slack is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, I miss AIM.
Yeah. I guess Discord's also a thing too.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back again next week. And don't forget, if you're a first member, the post shows are now on your first RSS feed. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm a big idiot. There's tickets for RTX and for Face Jam. Face Jam in Chicago this Friday. You can go to rtxevent.com. Tickets are on sale now. And then further in the future from that, we have RTX this summer here in Austin. Early bird rates expire next Monday, the 14th. So lock it in, get your badge now before prices go up next week. So you're running out of time to get these early bird rates and save money. And we'll see you guys in Austin this summer. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you guys again next week.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're a scalper, go fuck yourself. Bye.